Today on Hearts of Heroes, one buried snowboarder, one downed dirt biker, and two risky rescues.
Okay?
A snowboarder is buried in a 6-foot ravine, and the bone-chilling recovery is captured on camera.
It was complete darkness, no light whatsoever.
I see his board is moving back and forth. I realize he's alive.
Hold on, I'm coming.
And later, a dirt biker crashes down a 150-foot Utah canyon.
It was just a sheer straight cliff, so I just tumbled and rolled until I stopped at the bottom.
As we got closer and closer, we were preparing for the absolute worst.
For these heroes, no summit is too high when it comes to saving lives.
In the winter, mountain resorts are just brimming with skiers and snowboarders. And whether you're an expert or you're just hitting the slopes for the first time, it's worth a reminder, these winter playgrounds, they can be dangerous.
When an avid snowboarder fell into a snowy crevice that left him buried alive, a quick-thinking stranger was there to attempt a rescue. And incredibly, it was all caught on tape.
10,000 feet above Bellingham, Washington, towers Mount Baker. A perfect destination for winter thrill seekers.
Snow in the mountains has always been a part of my life.
Ian Steger grew up on this mountain. And skier Francis Zuber is a recent transplant from the East Coast. Like Ian, he found a place of zen on Mount Baker.
There's something really euphoric about those perfect days where you get like 3 feet of fresh snow. There's nothing else like it.
But with heavy snow, these trails can hide something less tranquil and much more dangerous, a phenomenon known as tree wells.
You get this area of snow at the base of the tree that's just much softer, and it kind of just acts like quicksand, essentially.
If a skier or snowboarder was to fall into one of these trenches, they could be completely buried with no way out.
In March of 2023, Francis Stuber decided to hit the slopes. Separately, Ian Steger joined friends for a day of snowboarding. As Ian and his friends got to the mountain, they saw that the powder-perfect day had made for an unusually long lift line. So they made their way to the less-traveled trails.
Mount Baker is known for their side country and back country. It's technically out of bounds of the ski area, but it's accessible by a chairlift.
Mount Baker has a backcountry policy that includes not being alone, having some knowledge of the terrain, and carrying gear that includes a shovel, avalanche transceiver, and an optional radio.
All that is in a backpack that you're carrying with you.
Equipped with the proper gear and backcountry knowledge, Ian and his friends took the chairlift up and went out of bounds.
It was just this epic run.
Ian broke away from his friends and was headed for a tight group of trees.
As I was going through it, there's a tree well. And when I made that hard turn, because of how far I was leaned back and how fast I was going, my board clipped a tree branch. And it was immediately in this massive hole.
Coming up.
Every time I moved, the deeper I would go into this hole. I went from waiting patiently to complete acceptance that I was gonna die.
But first, a tip to keep you safe in the wilderness.
There's nothing more relaxing than venturing into the great outdoors. But it's important to remember there may be hidden dangers lurking.
If you find yourself in an emergency situation, having a personal locator beacon similar to this one can make all the difference. These devices are satellite synced and can send out a distress signal to rescuers nearest you.
Being prepared and investing in this small device may provide a beacon of hope and, quite simply, save your life.
It was a bluebird sky and perfect powder day on Mount Baker, Washington, when snowboarder Ian Steger hit the slopes in March of 2023. But in a split second, he made a sharp turn, fell backward, and ended up buried head first into a tree well. Ian was unable to move.
Once I realized that there was no way that I was able to get to the surface and that I was deeper than I thought, I told myself just to wait, and my friends would most likely see the base of my board, and they would come dig me out. The fear kicked in when, after a short period of time, they didn't come. It wasn't until I heard them on the radio asking where I was that I started to panic.
Ian's oxygen was running thin.
I think you have 15 to 25 minutes, depending on the snow quality. So, and I'm guessing I was down there about 7. I went from waiting patiently to be rescued to complete acceptance that I was gonna die.
Meanwhile, Francis Zuber and his friend had also decided to strap on an action camera and ski off the beaten path. As Francis and his friends skied through the trees, they split up, figuring that they'd meet at the bottom of the run. Suddenly, the skiers saw something odd.
What caught my eye was this little flash of red. It was enough to make me stop and take a second look. First, I was like, is that just a loose snowboard? Like, I mean, your mind is thinking all these different things. I see his board is moving back and forth, so I know immediately that there's somebody attached to that snowboard.
Hold on, I'm coming.
I'm trying to sidestep up to him, and the snow is just so deep that I can't gain any ground. I kick my skis off and try using them as a ladder, and I sunk pretty much up to my waist. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get to this guy.
Hold on, I'm coming. Come on. Come on.
I got to him, and I realized he's pretty much just upside down.
Hey, you all right? Can you hear me?
I thought I was imagining it, but I knew that it was a person that was grabbing onto my board.
I just continued digging and digging and digging.
Hey.
Finally, I see his goggles, and I clear the snow off his mouth.
You okay? Can you breathe? Yeah. Okay.
Then I realize he's alive.
Okay, you're good. You're good, I got you.
There were several times asking if I could get out, and I was like, no chance.
All right, we're both gonna catch our breath for a sec. I'm gonna help dig you out, okay? Thank you. Yeah, no problem, man.
He pulled me back upright, and that moment of being upright was the best feeling. I was just happy to take that first breath of cold, crisp, fresh air. It was incredible.
We gave each other a big hug.
You know that something very traumatic and very serious happened when you just embrace a complete stranger.
Out of their shared experience, a friendship was born.
He is a hero to me. Someone that saves your life, someone that saves anyone's life is a hero.
I just did what anybody else would have done. There was a guy there that needed to be rescued, and I was the only person there who could have done it, so it just had to happen.
Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you have all the equipment. In addition to that, make sure that you tell the people you care about you love them. Life is precious, so make sure to make the most of it.
Coming up, a dirt biker's life is on the edge after a 150-foot fall off a mountain.
Nobody just falls off a cliff and lives to tell the tale very often.
Experienced off-roaders know that the key to surviving a crash is always wearing your protective gear, especially if you're hitting up extra rugged terrain.
But no matter how prepared you are, accidents do still happen. Luckily, there are highly trained teams of medics, rope rescuers, and helicopter pilots ready for any kind of emergency.
Warner Valley in southwest Utah features breathtaking deserts and red rock canyons as far as the eye can see.
We live in about the most beautiful place in the world, but it's a very harsh terrain.
Eric Tunbridge and his family live in St. George, Utah.
It's a great place to raise a family, incredible outdoor environment, big outdoors person, so I like that a lot.
In February of 2023, Eric and a friend loaded up to go riding in Warner Valley.
The morning of the ride, we decided to go to one of our favorite trails that we go on regularly, and it's got quite a few technical areas in it. Really steep climbs, really sharp rocks, really tight spaces. Cliffs can be included in that as well. It's just a different style of riding.
Knowing the dangers of the terrain, Eric and his friend made sure they had on their protective gear. About an hour and a half into the ride, Eric and his friend ended up on top of a narrow canyon trail. Suddenly, things went from thrilling to terrifying.
He went to put his foot down next to the cliff ledge here, and there was nothing under his foot, basically. So because of that, he just tumbled off of the edge.
There was about a 60-foot fall off just a sheer straight cliff, and then it was about another 100 feet down on what they call a scree. It's a really steep slope on the edge of the cliff. So I just tumbled and rolled until I stopped at bottom.
Eric's friend had witnessed the fall, but there was no way for him to climb down the cliff, and cell service was non-existent.
Luckily, Eric's phone was equipped with a satellite SOS system that alerted first responders of the accident.
Dispatch received a telematics call.
The evidence is a telematics alarm. There is a bike crash and somebody possibly fell off the cliff. We'll get medical in right now.
Our high angle and EMS teams and my east ground team respond to it.
Motorcycle crash, possibly fell off the cliff. You see the cliffs right there?
And at that point, search and rescue got called, Life Flight got called.
Life Flight helicopters carry cutting-edge medical equipment that can be flown directly to a person trapped in a remote area.
And as we arrived, I saw two gentlemen on the side of a scree-type mountain with a pretty big cliff up above them.
He's alive. He's right here.
As we got closer and closer and really saw how far he fell, we were preparing for the absolute worst.
With the cliff being up above, I didn't think the medical crew would be able to get down to the victim. So we opted to land below the victim. The crew had to hike up this scree hill, maybe a quarter of a mile from where we landed.
As we began our hike, we talked about the worst possible scenario, but we also talked about the big challenge we were going to have getting that patient back down the mountain, especially if he was severely injured.
At the same time, additional agencies began to respond, including the specialized high-angle rescue team.
When they called in the high-angle team, I knew it was pretty serious. I remember looking up the cliff and seeing how far he'd fallen and just being totally shocked that he was still alive.
Coming up, rescuers will stop at nothing to save Eric's life.
And we were scrambling over large boulders. We were climbing up a literal cliff face.
This is not a great terrain.
But first, a tip for all the bike enthusiasts out there.
Whether you're an expert or a beginner, bike safety attire is essential.
Wearing a helmet, reflective bands, and long pants can greatly reduce the risk of lasting and traumatic injuries should you fall. Also, be sure to carry identification and medical ID card just in case you're involved in an accident.
The numbers don't lie. If you wear a helmet, your risk of a head injury is reduced by nearly 70%. Bottom line, always wear the proper gear when you decide to ride.
Mountain biker Eric Tunbridge had fallen down a 150-foot cliff and suffered head trauma. EMTs and high-angle rescuers made the trek up the cliff so they could transport him to safety. Meanwhile, the Life Flight crew was attempting to stabilize him.
We were concerned that maybe he could deteriorate because nobody just falls off a cliff and lives to tell the tale very often. And so knowing that he had a head injury, we were suspecting some other problems internally.
Due to the fact that it's such a rocky area and a steep hillside, we had to have the high-angle team rig up roping and anchors so that we could safely lower him down the rest of the cliff.
We can set up an anchor.
Guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're gonna pass down.
Yep, got the head. Okay, I got it. Coming behind you.
Dirt sliding down off the hill, just trying to get your footing and trying to keep him safe too.
There are actually several times on the way down the mountain that he stopped breathing.
We got oxygen up there.
We worked as an assembly line trying to get him down the mountainside in the Stokes basket. So handing it off to each other because there was a couple big cliffs that we had to go off of.
Good? All right, going down.
So it took probably 5 or 6 guys at a time holding the basket. It really did take all those people. I'd say 25, 30 people to get down to that helicopter.
Drop right here, we'll pass.
That's our job, you guys. So much. We're at the helicopter, okay?
1, 2, 3.
These first responders put their own lives at risk to get Eric to the hospital. Now it was time to let the team of doctors at St. George Regional take over.
We kind of say goodbye, which is rough because you care so much and you're invested so much in that person and you want to know that they're going to be okay.
By now, Eric's riding buddy was able to make contact with his wife and children.
He informed me that he'd been in an accident and that I needed to get to the ER immediately, that it was probably really bad. I wasn't sure if he was okay, if he was paralyzed, if he was not going to make it.
I woke up in the hospital and I kind of didn't really feel any pain, but I couldn't really move. I realized really quickly that there was probably some more serious damage.
Eric had suffered a battery of injuries.
I severed my ACL and tore my meniscus. I had collapsed lung and a few broken ribs. And then I fractured my wrist pretty bad. They had to put metal plates in my left wrist.
Even though Eric was wearing a helmet, he still suffered a traumatic brain injury.
I wasn't able to recall information, short-term memory. They would give me different types of tests that they would ask me to remember words or to do simple math problems, and I couldn't do it.
Incredibly, there was no permanent brain trauma from the accident. Without question, Eric's survival and recovery were thanks to his helmet and protective gear.
But honestly, I don't think that I would be here today if I didn't have the right safety protective gear on me, in addition to the Lifelike crew and the first responders.
On this day, Eric and his family had the honor of thanking them personally. Sheldon Yellen of our sponsor, Belfour Property Restoration, arranged for them to meet for the first time since the accident.
Eric, how do you feel?
I feel great.
Here we are today with so many wonderful people who came together to help rescue and save your life. What would you like to say to them?
Just thank you. Man, it's just amazing to be here with you guys, and I'm super excited and super humbled by, all the sacrifice that you guys give to help save people, and my family, from all of us, we say thanks.
Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad you guys were able to save my dad, because I love dirt biking with him, and I'm glad I get to still dirt bike with him, so.
I'm just happy that he's alive.
I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you for your sacrifice and for the time you put in to save him. We are forever grateful. Because of you, he's standing here and we're together as a family because you guys were willing to go out and help him. So, thank you.
What an amazing sight to see. So many agencies coming together, so many people pulling together, standing in the presence of the guy they rescued, all together again, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. It's a wonderful end to a story.
Just having that opportunity to take some time out of my life and come to them and say, hey, what you've done has just had an incredible impact on my life, and I'm so grateful.
Saying thank you doesn't feel adequate because if they wouldn't have been there, Eric wouldn't have survived. He wouldn't be with us today.
Whether they're medics, police, or high-angle rescuers, first responders spend countless hours training and preparing for all kinds of emergencies.
And when these individuals work together, they truly can perform incredible feats of skill and bravery. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.